Well, I guess over the past couple of not hours, but the past couple of days, this past week period, we've been getting a lot of My Little Pony New Generation news. And the news that we've been getting is what is coming up, the road in the next several months, if not a lot sooner than a lot of us are expecting. First of all, it was announced that on April 7th, right on YouTube, and I think even on Netflix, we will have the first of two, that's right, first of two animated MLP G5 shows. This one is going to be 2D animation, and it's going to be called Tell Your Tale. And already, people are criticizing the art style. Some like it, some are cool with it because they know, hey, nowadays that's the art style a lot of people are going to go with because it's a lot faster, quicker, and cheaper. And it allows for more fluid animation to be utilized. Well, I know others will be like, really? You couldn't think of something else? You couldn't think of a different art style? Well, that's going to be more than made up for later on, this year as well as the following month. But yeah, Tell Your Tale is, like I said, the first of two My Little Pony Generation 5 stories that will be told starting on April 7th on YouTube and Netflix. Now, according to the description, the reason that they are going with like I said, a lot of people are critical about the Cal Arts style. The reason why they're going with the Cal Arts style is it's going to allow the characters' personalities to show out a lot more. It's going to allow for more comedic situations and environments to be explored and be visualized. They'll be able to do basically a lot more creativity with the fluid animation that they're going to get with the Cal Arts animation style. That is what they'll be able to do. So yeah, Tell Your Tale is going to be the first of the two series, and it will debut on April 7th, like I said, on YouTube and I think even on Netflix, if not around the same time, maybe later on. But following that, the following month in May, and May is becoming a big month for a lot of anticipated releases. I'm telling you that right now. But basically, come May of the following month, will be the first special this year. And the special will be called Make Your Mark, which, by the way, is going to be the title of the CGI. That's right, they're going to keep the CGI for the Netflix exclusive series. Basically, Make Your Mark arc is the first of two specials coming out this year. Basically the following month in May on Netflix. It is coming out on Netflix. So yeah, Make Your Mark, like I said, debuts the following month in May, but debuts around Memorial Day holiday. And that would be around May 25th. Now, I know that's not exactly Memorial Day holiday, but it's close to it. So, yeah, the Make Your Mark special will debut on May 25th, while the series of the same name will debut on September 26th. And the series will be, as I said, all CGI. This was confirmed by the people behind it, that it will be all CGI, just like what we saw in the movie, which to me is a great move. If you want to basically make your show that you promised, first of all, when this was announced about a couple years back, if you're going to make that show stay in tone with what people saw with the movie, I think that's a great move. Now, whether or not they're going to drop all the episodes at once, when September 26th comes around, or they're going to do what they did with Masters of the Universe Revelation and maybe even War of Cybertron, and that's just split, the episodes up into parts, make them separate seasons, that's totally up to them. I know when they did War for Cybertron, that trilogy, yes, that was CGI, but they only did like 6 to 7 episodes. And each of those 6 to 7 episodes were split into separate seasons. Even though they were one constant story, they were split into separate seasons. I mean, think about it. You had about 6 to 7 episodes. So you had about, in the end, you had about 18 to 21 episodes. So I wouldn't put it past them to look at the Make Your Mark series and say CGI is pretty expensive and we want to keep it similar to what the movie was, so here's what we're going to do. I would not be surprised if we get the first season initially split into separate mini seasons, or at least looked at as the own seasons, because that's what Netflix does. They'll basically take an entire one season and split it up. I think they had done that previously before as well with My Little Pony. Hear me out. You see, when My Little Pony Friendship is Magic was on Netflix initially, sometimes they would take the first half of the season after it was done, wait a week, maybe a month or so, and then put it on Netflix, or maybe even wait until the second part of the season aired on Discovery Family, and then they would put the first half on Netflix. They've been known to do that even with Friendship is Magic. So I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. If they do that here, with Make Your Mark. I would not be surprised. But we'll have to wait till September 26th to see whether or not they will do that. However, we won't have to wait that long for the special that's going to launch the series, which is Make Your Mark of the same name, on May 25th. So May 25th and September 26th, I wouldn't say the new official beginning of Generation 5, because that was the movie, but the new beginning overall, or the continuation, I should say, of the new beginning overall of My Little Pony's new generation continues on. And like I said, the other series that's coming out the month before the Make Your Mark special is Tell Your Tale, and that's more of a 2D animation style adventure, which again, according to the description, allows basically for more fluid creativity, basically allows for more comedic situations and stuff for the characters to get involved in. Because here's the thing, can you imagine, not saying it's not possible, because it's been proven that it can be done, but can you imagine how hard it would be to, let's say, do a lustful melt gag on a character like, let's say, Izzy Moonbow or Pip in CGI? It wouldn't be, I mean, it could be done, but it wouldn't be easy. Going the route of the Tell Your Tale deal for the more comedic, like I said, if you try to do what's known as the lustful melt gag in CGI with someone like an Izzy or a Pip, I'm not saying it can't be done. It can be, but it'd be a lot harder to do. It would be a heck of a lot harder to do than if you were to try it in that traditional 2D CalArt style of animation. And I want to address that too, because I know a lot of people are, either still for it or against it. And here's the thing, with them taking Tell Your Tale, which comes out on April 7th, in the direction creatively of the CalArts 2D style, basically, long story short, it's a lot cheaper and easier to produce and utilize. You don't have to worry about so much money being thrown out on a constant basis just for a YouTube series and a Netflix series, or YouTube/Netflix series, if you will, that Tell Your Tale is going to be. Because with the CalArt style, you're able to get, the stories you want out quicker and faster, and, still make them look good. This is why when you look at shows like Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Gumball, Adventure Time, and all of them, you could see why they became so immensely popular. Not because of the stories and the characters, but because of the fact that the studios used a style of animation that allowed them to produce episodes faster and quicker, so they could keep those fans, and they could keep that fan base of their shows happy. They can keep them excited. They can keep them intrigued. They wouldn't have to risk losing them. And that is why I think they're going with this style when it comes to tell your tale. They're going with the style because it's a lot cheaper to go with, and it basically allows them to, like I said, produce the episodes a lot quicker. Now, when it comes to the CGI series and the special that follows, that's a different story, because with the CGI series and the special that comes before it of the same name, Make Your Mark, those will be CGI, but because they will be CGI, like I said, the difference in releasing episodes, especially in September, might go the way, I should say, of Transformers War for Cybertron or Masters of the Universe Revelation, to where they'll be able to get a certain amount out, but then they have to separate them into their own little seasons to give us the complete full story arc for that first initial season. I mean, think about it this way. When DreamWorks did Voltron, if you will, when they did Voltron Legendary Defender, they treated all those 5 to 6 seasons as if they were their own seasons. But they didn't. Here's the thing, they didn't, do a whole season all at once. I mean, they did, but they didn't do like a full 26 episodes or anything like that. They separated them into their own continuity or their own seasons. And thus, by doing so, they gave the animation studios behind it, DreamWorks and them, enough time to complete the animation, get the voice recording done, and then put the finishing touches and go from there. So with the CGI deal, it's a little bit more complicated because CGI is a little bit more expensive. But as we saw with War for Cybertron, the wait is worth it. Sometimes the story may not reflect that, but the overall animation quality does. So to me, when I look at Make Your Mark, I look at a series that it might get split into a couple of parts. Even though it's one consistent season, it might get split into a couple of parts, but we'll see. Again, Netflix is no stranger to this because they did it with Friendship is Magic. When they would get the episodes of the first half of a season, they would sometimes wait a couple of weeks, sometimes a month. Maybe they'd wait till the beginning of the second half on Discovery Family before they put the first half of that same season on their streaming service. So they're no stranger to this, and I won't be surprised if they go this route with Make Your Mark. I won't. But speaking of the show, like I said, Make Your Mark, the special, which leads us into the series, that's the first of 2. The second one is coming out around Thanksgiving. That's right, the second one is coming out on November 21st, and it's called Winter Wishday. Now, I don't know if that's basically a new holiday they created. I don't know if that's basically a new version of Heartwarming Eve. Maybe they'll touch upon that, and maybe they'll say, hey, we decided to rename it Winter Wishday. We know that there was a winter wrap-up kind of holiday for the ponies around season 1, season 2. We know that, had that great song going along with it. So I don't know if Winter Wishday is just like a new holiday they came up with, that was, created, throughout the generations between, the Friendship is Magic days and what we're seeing now. Hopefully we'll get more information. But it looks like it's going to be the CGI style that we're used to. And if it is, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that, because that's another holiday special I'll be able to add to my annual holiday DVDs, movies and specials sets that I like to try to create every year since I've been doing them on VHS back in the late 90s. Late 90s, early 2000s, that is. But, like I said, that's coming out November 21st, a week around or before Thanksgiving. But, speaking of Generation 5 and Tell Your Tale, Make Your Mark, and Winter Wishday, well, what one of the people said in the Bronies React video, I can't think of their name right now, but they said, don't get used to the VA actors in the movie because we ain't going to see them again because they're too expensive to sign on. So instead, they decided, of course, to add new voice actors to the characters that obviously will sound similar, or at least try to sound similar to the original VAs. And here's the thing, this is nothing new to Hasbro. This is nothing new to Hasbro because I go back to this. When they did Transformers the movie in 1986, they had all these names, all these celebrity names doing the voices of the characters. You know, they had Eric Idle as Wreck-Gar. They had Judd Nelson of Breakfast Club, you know, doing Hot Rod. They had Leonard Nimoy of Star Trek fame doing Galvatron. They had Leon Standard doing Cup. They had Robert Stack, you know, as Ultra Magnus. They had Orson Welles in his last performance as Unicron. And what happened come the series that followed, the third season, you know, which takes place, you know, about a year or so afterwards? What happened? They changed up the voices for the characters. They changed them up. Hot Rod did not sound the same as he did before, although of course his voice changed a little bit when he became Rodimus in the movie, but it was still Judd Nelson. The point is, the actor was not the same actor. Now, when they, you know, of course, did Rebirth, the final 3 episodes of the Americanized Generation 1, the actor tried to sound like Judd Nelson, but he couldn't do it. Even when they would have the episodes where he would revert back, you know, he tried to sound like him, but he couldn't. And that's the job of voice casting. When people get used to voices, you know, of celebrity voices in characters or being portrayed, or basically what I'm trying to say is when people get used to a celebrity's voice coming out of a character's mouth, you know, you want to do your best, if you're going to continue using that character, like let's say in a series, you want to do your best to find someone that sounds identical. And I give them credit for that. I give Hasbro, Disney, anybody else credit for that, for going that route. Because they know you need to find someone that's identical. You need to find somebody. And that's why when Rodimus, you know, Hot Rod in the series that followed the movie sounded similar, but it wasn't the same actor. The same with, you know, Galvatron. You're thinking, wait a minute, Galvatron didn't even sound like Leonard Nimoy. He sounded more like a Starscream. Well, here's the thing. He was voiced, believe it or not, by the same guy that voiced, you know, who his character was in season 1 and 2, who he was evolved from, and that's Megatron. It was basically Frank Welker that voiced Galvatron. But he had to make him sound, you know, a little different. Like, because at the end of the movie, we see him getting thrown out of Unicron and across space, but we don't know where he lands until we see the 5 Faces of Darkness miniseries. And it pretty much, from a story perspective, is chopped up to the fact that, you know, he kind of has a few loose ends here and there because of what happened to him. So as a result, not only is his mind kind of scrambled, but his vocal cords have changed as well. His voice has changed as well. So that's pretty much how they chalk it up. Another character, of course, is Unicron. Unfortunately, Orson Welles passed away after the movie, but they had to get somebody to do the voice anyway when they would bring him back, and that's what they did. I don't know if it was Frank Welker or somebody else, but they brought somebody else back to be Unicron in the show. And the same with Ultra Magnus. Robert Stack voiced Ultra Magnus in the movie. They had to get someone that sounded identical. Same with Cup. Leon Standard voiced someone that sounded identical to Cup. Basically. Oh, not Leon. Hold on for a sec. Sorry about that. I got distracted. The postal service was outside my door here. I don't know. Well, outside my house here. One of the postal trucks, that is. I don't know what that was for. But anyway, this, as I was trying to say, the same goes for Leon Standard. When he voiced Cup in the movie, they had to find someone identical to voice Cup in the series. And that's what they did. That's what they did. So they went around the bend, basically, guys, to find people to voice or be identical voices to the celebrity voices, that were heard in the movie. So it's not surprising that they're doing that here again with the main five. It's not surprising that Vanessa Hudgens is being replaced by Jenna Warren. That Pip Pedals, who was voiced by Sophia Carlson, is being voiced by AJ Bridle. Or that Zip Storm, who was voiced by, what was her name? Can't think of her name right now. Is going to be voiced by, I can't even know if I'll pronounce this name right. But Zip Storm is going to be voiced by Material Orasasbitin. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Izzy, who is voiced by Kimiko Glenn, is going to be voiced by Anna Stana. And Hitch is going to be voiced by J.J. Gerber, who Hitch was voiced by James Marsden in the movie. J.J. Gerber is going to voice Hitch in the series. Now, we don't know about the other characters that might appear that were voiced by celebrities. They might get the celebrities back for those because maybe they won't be too expensive. But still, it's not a surprise that we have these new voice actors and actresses voicing the main five in the series as we speak. Basically, they're currently recording. I'm guaranteeing that. But yeah, overall, it looks great. The news coming out looks great. I'm happy that we're going to get some pony content on YouTube and possibly Netflix with Tell Your Tale. I want to see exactly how they're going to be able to utilize the Cal Art style because, again, like I said, I think the reason they're doing it is mainly because of the fact that it gives more emphasis on how creative they can get with the adventures, with the characters and all that. It allows them to, like I say, become more creative and all that. And I'm just getting more information on my printer here. There's a delay connection, if you will, between the printer and the computer. I don't know what that is. It might have to do with the updates. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just getting more information coming out. Like I said, the one I just got printed out, like I said, talks about the special and the series of Make Your Mark coming out May 25th and the series coming out September 26th. But yeah, overall, like I said, I'm glad to see this happening. We're going to get a lot more pony content a lot sooner than we thought with, Tell Your Tale on April 7th. And then, like I said, the Make Your Mark special on the 25th, I should say, of May. And then the series of the same name on September 26th, and then Winter Wishday on November 21st. So great to see it. Again, obviously, new voice cast going to be voicing the characters, hopefully identically sounding like, or trying to sound identical to the celebrity VAs that came in. So it'll be an interesting transition. I will say that it will be an interesting transition. As we speak, when it comes to hearing how the characters are going to sound like in these specials and series compared to what they sounded like in the movie. And again, like I said, with the Cal Art style, I'm going to be intrigued how they utilize that. I think the way they're going to utilize it, like I said, is because it's going to be due to its creativity. It's more unlimited kind of style of how you could get very imaginative with situations with the characters. Like I said, you do the lustful milk gag with someone like Izzy or Pip in CGI. Yeah, it's possible, but it's a lot harder to do. When you utilize Cal Art's 2D style, it's a lot easier. Definitely a lot easier. But let me know what your thoughts are. how do you feel about all this information we're getting for My Little Pony Generation 5 from Tell Your Tale starting on April 7th on Netflix and YouTube, or mostly YouTube as of right now. The follow-up to that on May 25th with the Make Your Mark special, and then the follow-up to that on September 26th with the Make Your Mark series, as well as concluding the first full year of Pony with the Winter Wishday on November 21st. How do you guys feel about that? And when you think about it too, when the Make Your Mark series, the same name as the special, debuts in September, it'll be 1 year after Generation 5 started. So what a year for Generation 5. And also there is an IDW comic coming as well later this year. Be on the lookout for that. Can't wait. I'll try to get hands on that, because we know with comics they can get a little bit more freelanced and everything, a little bit more creative as well. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys, down below, as well as in the live chat during the premiere, where super chats and super stickers are open and would be appreciated. During the live chat of the premiere. I'd be really grateful if you guys can do that as of right now. As well as you can check me out at Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2 to help donate there. As well as at my Cash App at BWRoses98. As well as check me out at BW Roses Discussions and all your favorite audio podcast platforms except for Pandora. Got a couple of new episodes up there. Also check me out at Vimeo at BW Roses for content you can't get anywhere else here on YouTube due to copyright. And check me out at my Teespring store to help me out there, to expand the brand, purchase some merchandise there I think you will enjoy. But until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments, as well as in the live chat during the premiere, where, like I said, super chats and stickers are open and would be appreciated. How do you feel about this, Generation 5, the new Tell Your Tale being utilized with the Cal Art style, I should say, being utilized for it, as well as the new VAs for it, and the Make Your Mark special and series, and Winter Wishday? How do you feel about them overall? Comment below, live chat during the premiere. Like I said, super chats and super stickers are open. It would be appreciated. And until next time, guys, I will talk to y'all later.